Hello there, guys. The Premier League season is officially over. It was over officially yesterday. Today we had our parade, which was amazing. I recommend, if you haven't seen the parade, just go on YouTube and type Chelsea FC Parade 2015, and you will see parts 1, 2, and 3. Or try to watch at least a part of it because it was amazing. This is uh, the third parade I've seen in the new Chelsea generation over the last 12 years. We had one in 2005, 2006 where we won the Premier League. There was a big parade. In 2010 we had a big parade as well. Ancelotti's double winning season. We won the Premier League and it was the FA Cup, and at 2012 we had a big parade, which was Champions League and FA Cup, and 2015 Premier League and Carling Cup. Judging at the club, I mean, I don't know where to start. There is a lot of potential in Chelsea Football Club. We just have to use it up. Things like things like the kids. We need to upbring kids into the first team. That is very important for a club like Chelsea, and I hope they will do it very soon with the likes of Loftus-Cheek. I understand Chelsea's point of view in sending kids out on loan, but as a professional club, it's better to have homegrown players and actually academy-based players, because Barcelona has it, Arsenal have it, Man United have it, Liverpool have it. We've got to start bringing up kids. That's our number one priority. One of our priorities, bringing up kids actually, and we don't want other fans slagging us that we don't have enough talent at the club, that we just buy, and Liverpool calling us rent boys. And to be honest, everybody spends today. Everybody buys big talent today. You look at the likes of Barcelona, if you want Real Madrid, top clubs, top spending. Man United spending Di Maria on the bench, 60 million, you know. So it's not only us, but um, Chelsea's youth system is very unique. They try to bring kids, develop somewhere, and we have to bring up people next season. So anyway, it has been a brilliant season for us. In the Premier League, we finished first, 26 wins, 9 draws, and 3 losses. Um, and the difference between first and second was 7 points, around that margin. We could have made it 10 or 12, but we slacked in the last 3 games because we have been the champions and the motivation level went down. And I don't blame Chelsea. The earlier we win the Premier League, the better. That's always the case. But yeah, I mean, we cannot complain. If we have a good lead, healthy lead in the title race, and we finish early, and then we lose some games, and then that's fine with me. FA Cup, we didn't do well. Bradford, unfortunately, they found 4 goals in 15 minutes. In the Carling Cup, or as today it's called, the League Cup, we have successfully were successful in that competition. The Liverpool match was very tough, and Branislav Ivanovic stepped up for us against Liverpool with that goal in the extra time. That got Stamford Bridge buzzing. The Champions League, we were not ready for the Champions League. Unfortunately, PSG deserved. They did. It was an even game, but PSG had a slight edge, but they did very well to fight twice, to come back behind twice from the game. You should say they deserved it, because the fight they showed, the spirit we showed, and Chelsea defending at the end. It was not our season in the Champions League, but that's our second season with Mourinho back. In his 5 seasons, he has won 3 league titles in his 5 years. He has around 22 trophies in his career. He has won in Italy, he has won in Spain, he has won in Portugal, he has won in England. Wherever the hell he went, he has got, he won that league in that country. He wanted Serie A, La Liga, Premier League. But the Premier League, very, very, very huge. 6 teams competing for the title at the beginning. And then it comes down to 3 or 4 near the latter stages of the season. But, you know, in Spain, you see Real Madrid, Barcelona beating teams 6-0. If Chelsea beat teams 6-0, they have worked much harder than Barcelona and Real Madrid did. Trust me on that. Anyway, I'm going to review the season itself. So we have bought Cesc Fabregas, we have bought Diego Costa, we have bought Zuma in January, I believe. He was loaned back in Saint Etienne and he came back. We got Didier Drogba back, which has been proved amazing. That's an amazing story by itself. It's a chapter by itself. Didier Drogba is a big, big part of Chelsea's history. He's won the Champions League with us. He has came back. He has made some of our people mature, our youngsters. They helped our youngsters in the dressing room. Today in the parade, pom, 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 pom. He's a great cheerleader. He's an example in anything. Didier Drogba, bless you, God bless you. Anything you do, anything you have done, you will always be a part of Chelsea's history. And Frank Lampard, I have to mention. I'm going to mention later, but it's very sad that Manchester City has given him a proper send-off instead of Chelsea. That hurts deep inside. It hurts because Frank Lampard, you can never replace Frank Lampard, never ever. Just like Zola, you cannot replace Zola. There are special types of player that will give you specific attributes and specific skills. Frank Lampard, best scorer. He has scored the most goals at Chelsea, and he has the most goals in the Premier League as a midfielder. And his professionalism, his work ethic. Mourinho has said he has never seen a better player than Frank Lampard, and both of them have a very strong bond in relationship, in their mutual relationship. And Frank Lampard is going to America, Steven Gerrard is going to America, Didier Drogba, his final year, Peter Cech, another major talking point. I don't want him to leave, but unfortunately it will be the case. We will see where he goes. Anyway, Cesc Fabregas and Diego Costa, these 2 players, have won us the Premier League, literally. Let's add Eden Hazard, but we signed them in the first year. And by the way, Thibaut Courtois had a major contribution in Chelsea season. Splendid, he's splendid. He's going to replace Peter Cech for the next 10 years, we hope. I certainly hope that, because we need a very good goalkeeper and we need to buy a good backup for the summer. Anyway, Peter Cech, he hasn't played much games, to be honest, and I'm sure he wasn't happy because he has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League for a long time, and it's very sad to see a legend like him leave. Branislav Ivanovic, best right back in the Premier League. Underrated. He is underrated. He scores goals, he assists, he defends. Bulldozer. Filipe Luis, 20 million addition for Chelsea. He doesn't look like 20 million, he looks like a 10 million, but he has done his job whenever he came on the field, but we didn't use him much. Aspilicueta just bossed that left back spot. Cesc Fabregas, he is not quick, but whenever he has the ball, he reads the game, he assists. Fabregas is magic with his left feet and his right feet. He is, you have seen Cesc Fabregas and Diego Costa number of times. The link has worked with Everton. He scored a goal against Everton, Diego Costa, with Cesc Fabregas assist. And the other one, I'm trying to remember, is the Arsenal game where Cesc Fabregas, magnificent assist to Diego Costa, amazing goal. That was one of the goals of the season. And by the way, tomorrow Chelsea Player of the Year ceremony is going to take place in Battersea Evolution, I think it's called. I'm not sure. I don't live in England, but the Chelsea Player of the Year awards are tomorrow. Eden Hazard is the favorite, but yes, Cesc Fabregas is among them. Anyway, Zuma. Anytime he has come, super sub, amazing contribution. He follows Mourinho's instructions. He comes to the field, does the job. Whether it's bossing the defensive midfield or tightening the defense, he does it well. I haven't seen him put a foot wrong. There was a spell where Gary Cahill was not good enough to play for Chelsea, but he has improved. But all players have this up and down moments. Chelsea fans have to really learn how to be patient with all players, especially with Andre Schürrle. And you're telling me that you're very happy with Cuadrado. You have to think twice about that, please. Ramirez, our number 7. He has been a second fiddle to us, but whenever he came, he did the job. There's lots of criticism with him, but at Chelsea Football Club, he is one of the only players who is never scared to shoot outside the box. And with Oscar, the thing I saw with Chelsea this season is they don't shoot outside the box, and they have to try it more next season. Mourinho always instruct the players to pass it, and play inside the box, and they shoot inside the box. But sometimes you really got to try shoot outside the box. All teams do it, and we are one of the least teams that did it this season. I am sure about that. Every match I watched, I haven't seen a long range effort into goal. Not that often. Sometimes, especially Ramirez, a couple of times, he just bangs it. Oscar, there is some criticism of him. He had a very good spell at one point, and then he went down, and then the last few games of the season he hasn't played, unfortunately. But last summer was the World Cup, and he has accumulated a lot of matches in the last 3 years. 3 years ago, he was the most used player under Rafael Benitez, playing for Chelsea in terms of match minutes. He played a lot, Oscar. He's a great future potential for us. He has a contract until 2018, and we need him in that role behind the striker. I think he can prove to be very pivotal for us, very vital for us, and he is versatile, but he's a very exciting young prospect. So do not say, let's sell Oscar to get Pogba. Chelsea fans really need to understand that you really need to put faith in your club, because the likes of Arsenal, they struggle. They really struggle to win games. Even when they play beautiful, they struggle, and then the fans go crazy. But at Chelsea, you have that security with Jose Mourinho, and you always look for new ideas, but you always have to be realistic. You have to show love and passion to your club, and you have to salute your players all the time. It's very vital we do that. Arsenal have done it, but the problem with them was they sell players like Van Persie and Vermaelen, where they're in the prime stage of their career. They sell it for money. It's really not worth it. But Chelsea is the opposite. They have to bring in young talent, at least 1 or 2 more. We've only got John Terry. What happens if John Terry retires next season? And then, competitors will say that we don't have any player from the academy that's very successful. We really need that, and this is the time. We cannot wait anymore. Loftus-Cheek can come in as well and learn his traits from our legends like John Terry and the more experienced guys out there that we have in the squad. Eden Hazard, player of the season, no doubt about that. His role was cutting in the edge of the box. That was his role, but sometimes he dropped back and he is very skillful to have him to play a lot of games like he has done. Like, you should describe Eden Hazard for me, because he has been outstanding player of the season. Even the Barclays Premier League player of the season, it was Eden Hazard and not Alexis Sanchez. The guy will just, any player would love to play alongside Eden Hazard. It's as simple as that. And he terrorizes all defense. Give him any defense, he will terrorize it. And all these defense, they really want to get a hold of him, but Eden Hazard, he is a hazard against other teams, and for Chelsea, he hazards other people. He scores the assists, he changes the dynamics of the game, just like Theo Walcott can for Arsenal. And Eden Hazard is a very special player. I'm going to cover more later, because he is future of this club, and he can be bigger than Didier Drogba in the future. He has an amazing potential. We should not sell him. He has a contract until 2018, which he signed this season. His family came to London to sign the contract. Didier Drogba. He was a big character in the dressing room. He was a third striker for us. Whenever he came, I was very surprised. Sometimes he lacked the sharpness that he had in his golden age, but whenever he came on as a sub, he was sharp. Good physicality, good battle, winning headers, passing the ball, but he cannot last 90 minutes. When he plays 90 minutes, he doesn't have that sharpness, that 90-minute sharpness that he needs. He had some very good moments, like against Tottenham he scored. We really needed that, because Fernando Torres could not finish that ball that Drogba scored against Tottenham this season. Fernando Torres, it's a separate topic I'm gonna cover at the end of the season. At the end of this video, I'm sorry. Mikel. So if you guys criticize Shurla and Cuadrado, why don't you criticize Mikel? Because Mikel has been at Chelsea long enough, and he has done his role as a second fiddle player or a third fiddle player in his defensive midfield. At times he used to lose the ball. I'm talking about this season, but overall he had problems maintaining the ball position. He gets criticized, but he's not criticized as Shorley or Mohamed Salah, which by the way they are better players than Mikel, but for some reason we don't slack Mikel as much as them. I'm very, very sad to see Shirley go. I'm going to cover that later, but you guys need to be patient with some of our players, because these players, they come to a club, they don't come for 6 months and for you to judge them based on their fitness or based on 1 day or 2 days. No, sometimes they have a bad season, they come back stronger, just like Oscar. He had a okay season, he had a below par season. We can sum that up as a below par season, but we know that Oscar is an amazing potential and can be one of key players for Chelsea in the future, and we give them a chance. We should have done the same, exactly the same, for Andre Shirley. He's an amazing professional, and he left. Although Chelsea mistreated him, he left Chelsea very, very happy. It hurt for him, and it hurt me that he left, but whenever he did an interview, he always says positive things about Chelsea, always. And by the way, Michael Ballack was the person that persuaded him to join Chelsea. Then we have Mohamed Salah, who left. He has done very well in Fiorentina. I've mentioned before in my videos that when you give players time, they perform. When you leave them rot in the bench, they really rot, and they take time to get the rust out of their bodies. They really do. Imagine you sitting on the bench every week, just like Peter Cech. You're just rusting there. What do? You just rust. And you have to train, you have to warm up, and you have to come back with the bench. And then the last 50 minutes you go to the pitch. It's not like that. Every person, every football player wishes for minutes in the pitch, and only some are fortunate. And especially for Mourinho, if you play in a Mourinho team, you really have to battle it out every training session, and he loves sticking with the same players a lot of time. So Mohamed Salah, unfortunately, he didn't have time to adapt to Chelsea, just like Kevin De Bruyne, amazing prospect, but that's how Chelsea is, unfortunately. But as long as Chelsea win titles, I really do not care how Mourinho wins titles, as long as we win it, as long as we bring business to the Chelsea Football Club, as long as we increase commercial revenue, as long as we increase our revenue in match days, ticket sales. We all have to really, it's a business. It's love and business together. You pay to go to Chelsea Football Club to watch matches. And the business side of it is that some people, like Arsenal Football Club, they go to games and they always complain about the performance because they don't win some games. They play attractive and then they get frustrated because they lose, because they play beautiful but they don't finish teams off. So yeah, so that's the thing. We really have to give people more minutes on the pitch for some people, but as long as we win titles, I don't care how. I accept it. Mourinho has done very well in buying and selling players. We have spent the most in the last 3 to 4 seasons, but the net spending wise, we have made more profit with them, and our net spending minus, we have made a net of $35 million or something in the last 3 seasons. We have sold and bought players, and we still have a profit of 35 or a loss of 35, but that's still really good because Chelsea received a lot of money during the season from TV rights, from commercial reasons, for ticket sales revenue. They get 50 million per season. And by the way, Yokohama on the shirt next season, first time, our Samsung partnership has been very successful. I thank Samsung for these 10 years that they have given Chelsea. Now it's a different time. They used to pay Samsung used to pay Chelsea 18 million per season, and Yokohama is going to pay Chelsea 40 million per season. I think Chevrolet is going to pay Manchester United 40 million per season, and Adidas is going to pay Manchester United 75 million. Adidas will have, Manchester United will have Adidas in their kit next season. Unfortunately, they're paying more than 2 times Chelsea and Real Madrid what they get from Adidas. Unfortunately, I don't know how it happened, because the season before Manchester United agreed the deal, we have extended Adidas 10 years, and the season later Manchester United signed with Adidas 75 million. The only team I hate in this world is Manchester United. Yeah, it's Ronaldo. It's because of all what Ronaldo did, but not many people remember that. Trust me, not many people remember that. They just remember his good days, but he was a big diver, but nobody remembers that. And then we have Romelu Lukaku that we sold. He was very selfish. He thought at 19 years of age he would get first team football ahead of Diego Costa and Loic Remy. He wasn't that ready, but it was his decision. We sold him, we made profit out of him. He was a Chelsea fan, and he just left Chelsea because he didn't get first team football. He went to Everton. They didn't do well in Europa League. He could have played in the Champions League. Romelu Lukaku, he could have made a difference for us, but he did not. He did not stay. Loic Remy, who has failed medical at Liverpool, he has come to Chelsea. He has been superb on the minutes on the pitch that he has contributed. You see, some players that come on that have a big role in the subs bench, some of them they don't rust, but some they rust. Most of the people, they rust on the bench, and they come on the pitch, and they look a little groggy, a little heavy. Uh, it's all about getting minutes on the pitch. Like Remy, whenever he came, he got goals. More often than not, he got goals. He got very important goals. The game against there was a game. There were many games, but there was a game where it was 2-2 and Mourinho brought Lloyd Remy and he scored the goal. I cannot remember. It was against one of the bottom teams. I think it was Hull City. But I'm very happy we got him. We got him for 7.5 million or 10 million. He has failed medical to Liverpool for some reason, but he has proved to be very good for Chelsea, and he's a very happy man now that he has the Premier League title, and he cannot regret joining Chelsea. Amazing, amazing. And then we've got Nemanja Matic. Oh, credit to the lad. He has bossed our midfield. He strides whenever he has the ball. He can stride. He can get the ball and just go away from you so easily, and he can find space so easily. He's a very good passer. He's very, very good as Cesc Fabregas in maintaining the ball, and for me he's an octopus. He has 8 legs. He's huge. Matic in the middle of the pitch. Matic, he does the job. Against Newcastle, we missed him. We lost that match. We missed him. Cesc Fabregas and Nemanja Matic, the best partnership in defensive midfield. No doubt about that. If you remember Makelele back then, he was good too. With Essien, he was good too. But you can see, compared to the first generation, Mourinho used to play 4-4-2. Mourinho used to play 4-3-3. But now it's 4-5-1. That's the traditional formation these days, in maintaining the possession of the ball. That's how they do it at Chelsea right now. And Mourinho, because when he came the first time, it was Hazard, Oscar and Willian in that 3 role, and it's hard to keep one of them out. And we used to rely on one striker this season and last season. In the 11-man formation, we always used to have one main striker that would play as a central attacking force, just like Ibrahimovic for PSG and Inter Milan for many years. Diego Costa has led the line. We will also talk about Willian, the Brazilian guy, machine. He has really changed the dynamic of the play. He has a lot of string attached always to the games. He always brings in something new. Speed. He brings in speed, determination. Gets the team forward during the play. We need him. He's full of energy. The guy is full of energy, robust, full of energy, and we need people like this to just bomb forward and give good assists. Mr. Willian with his finishing, he liked finishing this year, and it's something he has to improve on. But every player in the world has to improve on something for next season. Every player in the world. Cuadrado, our signing in January, proved to be unsuccessful, but real people would give him time. But unfortunately today fans they want everything now, and they always want to see new faces. Like when you say, let's sign Pogba, let's sign this, and then in 6 months you see that he has wasted his time, and you say, sir, it doesn't work like that. Keep faith with your players. I will always and always and always mention that it's not, a club should not be just about money and selling and buying. They should also be about maintaining, just like we will in the future, because Jose Mourinho, he will build a very, very good structure at Chelsea Football Club and a very big image, and for the years to come he will make Chelsea less hated. Take my word, he will make Chelsea less hated by winning more trophies, and whether it means winning the trophies in a boring way, according to Arsenal fans or some fans around the world, and in the pundits, some pundits, teams that do not get the credit they deserve. Chelsea Football Club, they do not deserve. They do not get the credit they deserve. And many commentators and many people have said Chelsea has been by far the best team in England this season. We cannot debate that. Let's move on to Gary Cahill. He had an off and on season. He's going to improve. He's only going to improve. In the space of 4 years, he has won the FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League, Capital One Cup, all that you need. Some people, some players, they in their career, they do not win a trophy. Like Steven Gerrard, a quality player like Steven Gerrard, he has not got a Premier League medal, and he barely fought for that 2005 Champions League final win. 3-0 down, how difficult is it to come back? He had the fight to do it, and Liverpool had the will to come back from 3-0 down to 3-3 and win. A player like Steven Gerrard has never got a Premier League medal. Imagine that. I will never rate him below. I will never rate him below Paul Scholes. He's better than Paul Scholes. Most of you will disagree about that, but that's the reality. Who else do we have left? Let's say Loftus-Cheek. Let's say Loftus-Cheek and Azpilicueta. Loftus-Cheek is going to come. I hope next season is going to come. The youth has into the first team. I hope he gets more minutes in the first team. The youth have been very successful this season. We won the UEFA Champions League in the youth level, and all of them are 16 to 18 years old. These small kids, they made us proud by winning the Europa League, the UEFA Champions League for the youth. At 18 years old, they travel around the world and they do Chelsea good. They listen to the manager's instructions and they perform on a very, very high level. They beat all these teams and they have won the final as well. Izzy Brown, Tom Solanke, Tammy Abraham. Just have a look for yourself. Go back and see how well they have done. If one of Chelsea, I hate to say that, but I really, as a Chelsea fan, I really want to see more youngsters step in, just like John Terry did. We need another John Terry, or another player that can be loyal to Chelsea, just like Frank Lampard has. Because Frank Lampard is very special to Chelsea, and to Chelsea Football Club, and to Chelsea's history, and to Chelsea's biggest fans. Not because he's cute, but because his work rate, his ethic, his respect to the club, his commitment to the club. Just like Jose Mourinho, and I hope Jose Mourinho will stay at Chelsea for many years to come. Build a good project, bring in strikers, bring in good goalkeepers, just like he has done, and make the club look big. Right now Chelsea are hated, but trust me, if he stays on, he is the man to make us more popular and less hated. And to be less hated, let's win more trophies. And in 1 decade, in 2 decades, if he lasts that long, we can take pride from that as Chelsea fans. And we will make the club image look better, and we will attract more players, and we will attract more commercial interest from all those business companies. Commerce is a very big thing in today's world. just like Manchester United, they 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 invest, they invest, just like PSG, just like Manchester City. So I have to say, in big games we have done very well this season. Jose Mourinho record this season in big games, just like every season, is magnificent. Better than Pellegrini, better than Arsene Wenger, better than even Sir Alex Ferguson back at the time, and of course better than Van Gaal, Louis Van Gaal, better than him. We have improved on points tally. We have lost less games. We had more goals from the attacking players, because last season it was more defense players and midfield players that scored goals. We have a better striker, better than Fernando Torres, who was an embarrassment to Chelsea Football Club, but people just do not admit that. He has left on free. That's embarrassing. 50 million and he lives on free, and he didn't do much. I'm gonna cover that later. Last season we have dropped points to smaller oppositions, and teams like Sam Allardyce's West Ham that has come to Chelsea just to park the bus and nothing else. If you want to insult Chelsea of parking the bus, they do park the bus, but you know what? They also attack, and whenever Chelsea win that way, they get criticized. But when Real Madrid or when Atletico Madrid play like this, it's professional defending and professional display. But when Chelsea do it and the way they get their goals, if you say Chelsea are boring and park the bus, think twice. Jose Mourinho is all about results, and he's all about making people work hard to get into the first team. If Thibaut Courtois and Peter Cech were in a team, Courtois will be given that spice and motivation to perform in his highest level in training as well in the football field, because he knows that there is Peter Cech. That's another thing. The big names that you have, let's say for example, we bring in Cavani for example in Chelsea, and we have Diego Costa as well. When Diego Costa underperforms, he knows there is Cavani on the bench, and he knows at any moment in time Mourinho can slot him into the first team regularly and play games, Cavani instead of Diego Costa. That's what Jose Mourinho is all about, and there is like 52 different other qualities that no other manager has except for the name of Jose Mourinho. So I'm very happy. Like, at times we have been boring. Let's be honest. Second half of the season we have been boring, but our work ethic cannot match any other team in the Premier League. We were just sensational. Man to man, tracking back, counter attack, work rate, defending, Thibaut Courtois saving. Thibaut Courtois, he has been amazing this season. One of our key players this season. A goalkeeper has to save, prevent goals from going in, and he has done his job magnificently. Sometimes he has made refracted saves. The only reason why Thibaut Courtois did not get the Golden Glove and the goalkeeper of the season is because De Gea had more saves, and Manchester United's defenders were much more fragile, and Chelsea's defenders were much more organized. That's why we have more players in the PFA Football of the Year, more defenders, because they have been the German wall. They have been so tight in defense, and especially John Terry, who has been a leader for 16 or more than 16 years at Chelsea Football Club. He knows what Chelsea is about. He always keeps that defense tight and try to beat that offside trap, and whenever players come at him, he knows what to do. He knows how to win headers. He organizes the defense. He leads the team. Whenever there is a decision that goes out against us, John Terry runs to the referee and says, "What's happening? What's wrong?" Always calming down players, always giving a big hand to all these players. He knows what it is about, and of course it's time for Chelsea to produce another young talent made in Chelsea. I have very, very big hopes next season of retaining the title. The parade today was bizarre, was crazy, was very, very crazy. Didier Drogba led all the chants. 5 standout players for the season. I have to forgive me if I'm wrong, but there are so many. But I'm just gonna mention 5 just now. Thibaut Courtois, John Terry, one of his best seasons, if not the best. Eden Hazard has to be at the top of the list. Nemanja Matic, Cesc Fabregas. These 5 players, in terms of the amount of minutes they put in the pitch, these 5 players were the best. Although I have to mention that Diego Costa's goals has won us the Premier League. Believe it or not, Diego Costa has got 20 goals this season in the Premier League and 21 in total. He had a problem in Europe this season. It is very important for us to have a good strike force. You look at Barcelona, Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. You look at Real Madrid, Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo. Chelsea, they need one more striker that can compete against Diego Costa and give him problems. Give Diego Costa problems. Let him work hard. It's a big season. It's a tough season ahead. Every season is getting tougher. We need to believe in our players, and we need that testosterone to continue for next season. We get those trophies. It has to be either Champions League or Premier League. I would love to win the Premier League again. It doesn't matter if we do not win the Champions League, but Premier League, let's get it again. Let's retain that title. Let's be good to go. Let's be prepared for our season to come. Let's bring in 1 or 2 good players, not more. Because we need that anyway, because Cech and Didier Drogba, they are leaving. We need to bring in new blood. We need to invest in players. But that does not mean we have to change every 6 months. Because a player like Andre Schürrle, you have to give him respect. Every time he comes to the Chelsea, plays for Chelsea in the pitch, he scores, he assists. He does a great job. Sometimes they have off days, but do not criticize a player like Andre Schürrle. Why do you criticize him? Why don't you give him time? Instead of watching players, go video yourself playing. You are definitely not better than Andre Schürrle. When players come to Chelsea Football Club, they come for a reason. Chelsea do not buy garbage, just as Mourinho said. A new Chelsea player that comes into the team, we have one of the best scouts out there at Chelsea Football Club. They travel around the world, they scout for players. They scouted for Kevin De Bruyne before, they scouted for Lukaku, Thibaut Courtois, Nathan that we have signed this season, Kennedy, the new Brazilian that we will sign, or we have signed, or we did not sign yet, I don't know, but we have one of the best scouts. We just have to implement our strategy and bring them to Chelsea Football Club instead of sending them out to Vitesse. We've got 30 players on loan 30 players that are under 24 years of age. Josh McEachran, he's very good, bring him up, but I don't know, the club has to decide. I'm just a football fan, but I have a right to complain. Chelsea, they really do not buy garbage. They bring in players, but the problem is sometimes they rot on the bench, and that's the problem we have. Juan Mata, when Jose Mourinho came, he wanted to build his own team, and I'm sure I'm sure if Jose Mourinho brings in the right players, he's going to dominate English football. No doubts about that. And I hope Abramovich does not sack Jose Mourinho, and I hope he sees Jose Mourinho's work ethic. One of the things Roman Abramovich was happy about Jose Mourinho is that whenever he goes to Stamford Bridge, more than 90% of the time he avoids defeat. There's a campaign thing about Chelsea that has referees. That was when referees did not give us penalties, and that has cost us some very vital 3 points in the title race. But fortunately, we have stepped over that line and we have got the title. But some referees really did not give us very key decisions, very vital decisions. That were penalties, were not given to Chelsea but were given to teams like Manchester City and Arsenal. If you remember the goal Manchester City scored against Newcastle, it was offside, but it was given. Yeah, Chelsea, they are stronger. Referees are stricter at Chelsea. They look at Chelsea in a different way, and the whole England look at Chelsea and Chelsea fans in a very different way. But if Jose Mourinho stays on, I promise you, we will be very respected. We'll win more trophies. We're going to build that image, and Jose Mourinho is going to build that image and make Chelsea image grow so much that you have never ever imagined before, because so far he is the most successful manager for Chelsea Football Club. There is no doubt about that. He has won 3 Premier Leagues in 5 years, and the Champions League will come in the years to come. It will take some time to win the Champions League because it's 1 or 2 matches that decide whether you are into the next round or not. But the Premier League is 38 games. The Premier League is longer. The Champions League, when you play at night, the adrenaline is very different, and it's a very different competition. You play against the best teams in Europe, and you play on Tuesday and Wednesday. And most of the Barclays Premier League teams, they do not play Tuesday or Wednesday. The top teams, they play in the Champions League and in the Europa League, and the lower teams, they have time to rest. So we need a big squad. We always need a big squad. Let's bring in 1 or 2 major signings, and let's bring 1 or 2 replacements for Cech and Drogba. No doubt about that, we need a striker. For those of you that slag off Jose Mourinho, stop it. Just stop it. If you do not know what Jose Mourinho has brought to this club, just look back, please. Do your homework. It's not worth slagging Jose Mourinho. It's just not. We have a brilliant manager. Thank God we have a brilliant manager. That is as good as Pep Guardiola and Carlo Ancelotti, if not better. But it's hard. Sometimes it's very hard to attract the best managers and best players, unless you are willing to pay a lot. Like, we did not get Jose Mourinho for free from Real Madrid. We have paid him 10 or 13 million, I'm not sure, but they are all professionals, and some of them are better than others. All of them try their best, but some of them are going to be left out, and that's the bad thing, and that's the unfortunate thing. Some people, like Radamel Falcao, they come to the Premier League for money, but some people they just come to play, to have fun, to make a name for themselves. Everybody wants to make a name for themselves, and for those people that rot on the bench, they want to make the name of themselves. They're just frustrated with Jose Mourinho that they do not get enough time on the pitch. Frank Lampard, he used to score every goal. Every season he used to score 20 goals per season. His best season was in 2010, where he scored 28 goals. Midfielder, 28 goals. Tell me one midfielder that did that during his time in the Premier League. One midfielder. Have a think. Frank Lampard, number 8, the only number 8. One of the only number 8s. True legend. standout player. You cannot. When you think of Frank Lampard, what do you think about? You think about Chelsea FC. There was a moment in 2008, his mom died. He went to the funeral. And there was a game, Liverpool, Man United, Liverpool. We beat Liverpool, and then we had a game against Man United, which Frank Lampard did not attend because he had to go to the funeral. And when Michael Ballack scored, they paid the tribute. They had a shirt that said "Rest in peace, Pat Lampard," which was jointly held by a few players surrounding Ballack. The shirt was clearly shown that they respected Frank Lampard, and we all loved that. And we all loved that day when Ballack scored 2 goals, 1 header and a penalty. And one of the good things about Chelsea this season is that there were 2 moments where in the last 10 years Man United could have won the title at the Bridge in 2008, but they didn't. They won it a little later. And in 2010, which was a key match for us against Manchester United in Old Trafford, where we won 2-1, where Federico Makeda scored the handball. He scored the handball. Go watch that game, that goal. Federico Makeda, the youngster, the Italian youngster, against Chelsea, the handball he has scored. The referee did not spot it. Anyway, that day was a good day. We had the edge in the title race, because if Manchester United would have won, they could have potentially decided the title. But these 2 moments I will never ever forget. Plus 2005, where we won Manchester United 3-0, and the title was decided and given to us that day. This season, Steven Gerrard has given us Liverpool has given us the Guard of Honor, and it was Steven Gerrard. His last season with Liverpool could not have been worse. No title in the last season, this season, no title. The last 2 games he has lost. He has lost the last home game 3-1 against Crystal Palace, and never won the Premier League. But Gerrard has his moments. You know, I'm sorry if I'm over mentioning that, but Steven Gerrard, he's a big lad. What else should I say? I mean, credit to the physio for us. You see Arsenal, you see Manchester United, players get injured very easily. But credit to Eva Carnero and the medical staff. They always work very hard in order to keep these Chelsea players in shape. They give good massages. They keep players in good conditions. They ask questions to the players and give the right answer and the right treatments, the right medication for all these Chelsea players. We have a good manager, we have a good medical team, we have good youth, we have a good youth team manager, we have a good structure in the club. We can always improve. Every club in the world can improve. Every club. The thing we have to improve on, 2 things. I'm sure there are much more. We have to increase the stadium size. Let's hope it will be in Stamford Bridge, because Stamford Bridge is a very historic venue for us, no doubt about that. We have to increase. By the way, Arsenal, they have 60,000 seats, and we have 41,000 to 42,000 seats, and we get as much money as Arsenal, club revenue, and we have 18,000 less seats than them. Imagine that. And what if we increase that capacity to 60,000? Every Chelsea fan is going to be very happy. Let's hope it happens in the coming years. Let's hope about that. Chelsea are having talks and discussions with other parties, and hopefully we can agree on something. If you remember, there was a big There was a big rumor about Messi coming to Chelsea, and that was all jokes. Never happened, and it was never going to happen. Messi's gonna stay at Barcelona forever. The Champions League exit was very sad, and we have to improve on that record next season. The Premier League, let's retain it, but let's get the double again next season. And with Jose Mourinho building the foundation at Chelsea Football Club, we really imagine Chelsea going next season without a trophy. That's a big failure. I cannot express it. We will win, and we want to win. The Stamford Bridge crowd, they have to improve. There is always a room to improve. The last 3 matches where we were champions, and the last 5 matches where we were about to be champions, and we had that vibe. We were really celebratory mood, and we really sang. But before that, we did not sing as much. We need that vibe at Stamford Bridge all the time. There was a moment where Jose Mourinho said that fans, they need to improve in chanting for the team and singing for the team. You see in the parade, they know. Cesc Fabregas knows that fans have a song about him. Diego Costa knows that fans have a song about him. Thibaut Courtois knows that people chant his name. They love it. They feel they feel loved at the club. Whenever you go to a club and you have the best reception and you have a good reception from their fans, there is nothing better you can imagine. They can all feel this. We are sensitive human beings, and when we lose, we have heartbreaks, especially in semi-final. That's the way we are. But we really have to get behind our team and support our team. The future is bright for Blues. The future is bright. We don't have to spend as much as we used to before, because this is Chelsea's second generation for the last 15 years. That's the Chelsea's second generation. The first generation ended where we won the Champions League 2012. Drogba left, Malouda left, Bosingwa left, Carvalho left the season earlier. But you know, times come and go, legends come and go. Frank Lampard has to come back at some point in time. Drogba has to come back at some point in time. Peter Cech, he has to come back at some point in time at Chelsea for a different role, if not a player. He will. We all remember. We remember these names. Peter Cech. He has been vital for us all his career, especially the Champions League final. He has saved 2 penalties, or I think it was 2 saves, and one was Bastian Schweinsteiger hit the post. But the future is all good for Chelsea, and thanks for watching, and I'm looking to do more videos, and until then I'll see you next time. Peace out.